What do you think of Queen Glitterati?
A mogul, a pioneer, a true vessel,
How you doing?
and a present queen that looks amazing
How you
always.
doing?
I'm amazing. Thank you so much for having me. It's been
Years.
a journey and a pleasure.
And years.
And years and years and years. But
So,
hey, like wine, we ain't aging.
I want you guys to know that I've known this king for so many years. How late do you think we go back? 2014, correct?
Yep, 2014, first year.
2014.
Ooh, we are
Go way
11
back.
and counting. You understand me?
Go
A
way
decade
back.
and counting, baby. We working on decade number 2.
Yes.
Let's do it.
So you know my show is about keeping it real.
Definitely. I know from the questions I can only expect that it will be kept real from beginning to end.
I do want to do a toast with you. But before we do that, I don't want to get too deep and personal into your life.
Okay.
But
We're
I do
keeping it
want to.
real. It's okay.
I do want to speak about your heart attack.
Okay.
And let me, before you get started, let me just bow down to you and say you did that.
Blessings. God did it.
That's right.
And I'm grateful.
That's
Same
right.
for you. So
yeah, thank you.
who knew?
Thank you.
Who knew? 2 beautiful souls with like-minded journey and dream would experience 2 things that I don't think many people would come back from.
Right.
So
with that being said,
I'll take it.
what happened?
Woo. Well, world, if I'm being totally honest, God gave me a big heart.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to keep it real, I must tell you, start by saying God gave me a big heart. And I think I kind of misused the heart he gave me. Not in a bad way, not intentionally, but I used it for everybody but me. I gave, I overdid, I overshared, I went above and beyond just to prove, I got a good heart. And in the midst of that, sharing, such a precious thing like your heart with so many people, I got to a point where I forgot to use it for myself. And so in the midst of that, when we kind of fail or neglect to use those gifts that God gives us for ourselves, only for others, that's where I kind of fell victim and I succumbed to 2 heart attacks. I underwent a heart surgery, 2 heart attacks in one day, and it was overwhelming. It was the idea of stress and doing this much and doing that. Never having any prior medical history, never been hospitalized prior to. And even when I went in the hospital after the pain subsided, I'm like, the only thing I want to do is go home. I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to this. And thank God for my grandmother saying, without a history and to experience or feel the level of pain that you felt, the doctors are saying you're okay. It just might have been minor, but she insisted that they look deeper, take a deeper look, a closer look. And it was at that point that we found that there was a blockage. So small, but could have been detrimental to my life and my existence and even my being here today. So I'm grateful to God because he didn't take me, although he took me through. And so in that, it's a challenge to still discuss, but I know I'm here for a reason.
That's right. And
so understanding that, I now use my heart for myself as well as others. I didn't take it from others, but I make sure to use it for myself first. And that's kind of how we get to the point. So in keeping it real, moving forward, me first, and then everybody else.
Absolutely.
It took a while to get to this point. So me first, and then everybody else.
What can you say to people that's going through or that has been through it, what you've been through? What is the most positive word or 3 words you can give to them to keep pushing forward?
Prayer, persistence, and a village. It's going to take lots of prayer because the thoughts are sometimes way worse than the outcome. The idea of what could happen, what might happen, am I, it's only right in this space and at this time to keep it real. But in my brain and in those moments, I planned what I thought would be the most amazing homegoing ceremony, all white and gold and so beautiful. And in the midst of planning, I was terrified, but I knew it was something that I felt like I had to do because I didn't know what I would do if this wasn't the outcome.
Right.
And so planning for that, I think, is going to take, for anybody that experienced any type of hardship or illness or, randomly succumb to any type of unfortunate circumstance, I say you're going to need prayer. You're going to have to be persistent in pushing forward, but you're going to need a village. You're not going to be able to do it alone. We can't cope ourselves or groom ourselves back to perfection when we're broken. It takes people to pour into us, and that's the part of the village that brings you out of those places. So yeah, prayer, persistence, and a village.
Okay.
Definitely.
So this show is not just about my guests keeping it real. It's about Queen Glitterati keeping it real as well. So, London.
Yeah.
King.
Yes, ma'am, Queen.
You have one question to ask me. What is your question?
If I could ask one question, Queen, to some it's going to seem really open-ended, but I think that sometimes a word can be a question. It just depends on the inflection. So inflecting on this particular word to make it my question to you is simply how? 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 I know we've grown in our friendship, in our partnership, and in our professional business relationship. So I know you to be transparent. And so I know a lot of things that maybe other people may not, but my question to you with all that I know and all that you've shared is, how? How?
Damn. That's a great question. I don't know.
Wow.
I honestly don't know. Let me first start by saying it ain't nothing but God.
I agree. 5,000.
It is nothing but God. And the love that I have for my kids.
That's a lot.
And drive. The passion. The drive that I have to keep pushing forward no matter what. No matter what. No matter what. You're going to have me over here crying. I'm not doing that.
Blessings.
I'm not doing that.
I think that because you are so transparent, I didn't really you've shared so much with us and with me particularly that I couldn't really think of any other question other than how. I've seen, I've been there. I've seen it from afar. I've seen it up close. But what I never asked or seen is how. How do you stay motivated? How do you keep going? And thank you for sharing and clearing it up, because a lot of people would probably think it's some profound answer. Oh, I've done this and I've done this and I've had this, but it's
God.
That's it. And
God,
I think
I
can agree with you 5,000%.
God and my kids, the drive, the passion, having to get up and speaking a word, the life into myself, or not giving up. Ooh, let me stop.
Blessings.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Let's
sharing.
toast to
that. Cheers, okay?
Keep pushing forward no matter what.
And that's how, America. That's how you keep it real.
That's how you keep it real. Well, thank you so much, King.
Queen, 5,000%
honor. I so appreciate you. Boy, let me just tell you that when I tell you, and I'm not speaking this on a business aspect, okay?
Yes.
This is from heart to heart. I'm so proud of you. I am so, so proud. 2014 to now, and to have it go through a heart attack and you to pick right back up. When your ass should have been in the bed. Your ass should have been in the bed, but you wasn't. So I just say, listen, I bow down to you.
To know all that you've gone through and to humbly bow before me, I think it's only right. America, join me. We bow to you as well, Queen, because I won't tell you, I thought about you every day in the midst of what I went through. But I would tell you that some of my weakest days, the thought of what you went through prior was a lot of the motivation that would pull me out in that moment, if not every day.
Really?
And some of those moments, I'm like, I got to get back to a set. I got to get, okay, you know, I know the lesson was to use the heart for myself, but it still didn't quite register until about 3 months after I came through, because the first thought in my brain was get back to normal, get back so nobody figures out that I've been gone, that I went through this.
Yes.
And instantly after I was able to kind of get back, I realized I was rushing to come back too fast and that I might end up with the same outcome if I didn't take heed of the note and the lesson. And days when I wasn't listening, I was motivated by your story and the things that you went through. And days when I didn't feel like trying, I'm like, well, I seen Queen do it. You know, I've seen this person. Or I would get online and I would see football players that literally 25-year-old had a heart attack on the field and didn't survive. And I'm like, well, I'm 35. He's 25. But I always thought I was too young to have experienced something. And that's what the doctors kept saying. You're 35, no prior medical history. How do you get to this point? You're like the youngest we've ever seen in this state. But when I see or hear that a 25-year-old didn't make it from the same thing, I had 2 in one day. That young man or those young men weren't lucky enough to make it through 1. And so to make it through 2 and the surgery and to get up in 28 days when they said I wouldn't get up for 6 months.
God said, you are not done.
I'm not done. And that's fuel moving forward. Thank you for sharing the journey. Thank you for letting me be a part. Thank you for thinking of me even when you were recovering. That was a motivation a lot of days. So humbly, I bow back to you. I bow to you first because you showed me the strength. You know, God definitely led me, but to have a person that you know that went through something way bigger or even bigger than what most people you're close to have experienced and to see them walk out looking like this. I was like, well, God, you have no respect to person. Bring me out like you brought her out because we got work.
That's right.
And I'm grateful he did just that and some. So thank you, Queen.
Thank you. And that's Keeping It Real with Queen Glitterati.
Before we wrap up, can you tell our listeners where they can find you online?
You can find me on all social media at London Legend. My logo, it's 2 L's, one facing either direction. Either way you look, I'm the same person. London Legend, all social media. Follow me. I follow back. I promise.